Welcome to What's Math. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my channel. This video will focus on literal equations. A literal equation is when you solve an equation in terms of a variable. Your goal is to isolate the for variable by using the opposite or undo operation. It's just as if you're solving a normal equation. Note, a uppercase B is not a lowercase b. The case of the letter is very important. Once you change the case, you change the value of the variable or what the variable represents. Simplifying. This is one of the issues when you're doing literal equation, knowing when to or when you cannot simplify. So what we're going to do is we're going to investigate or observe the rules when it comes to a simple numerical expression. So the one I'm going to use is 8 minus 2 times 3 over 2. Using order of operation, you do the 2 times 3 first. So it's 8 minus 6 over 2. 8 minus 6 is actually 2. And 2 divided by 2 is 1. So my final answer is 1. Let's take the same numerical expression. And I know most people will be tempted to simplify the 2's. So you would say that 2 goes into 2 one time. And anything over 1 we know eventually is going to be itself. So we're going to have 8 minus 3 over 1, which is going to be 5 over 1, which is equal to 5. But as we know, the answer for this expression is supposed to be 1, so therefore this is not correct. Let's look at the same expression again. This expression, if you note, is made up of 3 terms: the 8, the 2 times 3, and the 2. I put the 2 times 3 together because multiplication is like a glue. It sticks it together as one. So there are 3 parts. So if you can't simplify all 3 parts, we have to leave it alone. But let's just check. If we simplify all 3 parts, if we get the same answer, the correct answer, which is 1. Once again, the 2 goes into 2 one time, and the 2 goes into 8 4 times. So now we're going to have 4 minus 3 over 1, which is equal to 1 over 1, which is equal to 1. So the rule of thumb is all or nothing. If you can't simplify every single term within the expression, leave it alone. Example, P equals 2L plus 2W for L. It's for L, so therefore I need to isolate L. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove any term that does not contain an L to the opposite side. In this case, the L is on the right side, so therefore I need to remove that 2W from the right side because it doesn't contain an L. The opposite of a positive 2W is a negative 2W. So I'm going to subtract 2W from both sides. So now I'm left with P minus 2W equals 2L. We need the L to be in a singular state, so we need to remove that 2, which is a coefficient. And remember, a number in front of a variable means multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division, so I need to divide both sides by 2. Remember we said all or nothing. Yes, the W has a 2 in front of it and there's a 2 in the bottom, but the P does not have a coefficient of 2 or a multiple of 2, so therefore I cannot simplify. It's all or nothing. So it stays the same. So my final answer is going to be L equal P minus 2W over 2. Checking for understanding. A equals P, open parentheses, 1 plus RT, close parentheses for R. Go ahead and try this one. Solution. A equals P, open parentheses, 1 plus RT, close parentheses for R. It's probably in your best interest to go ahead and distribute the P. So we had A equals P plus PRT. We know we're looking for R, so any term that does not have an R needs to be moved to the opposite side. And in this case, that singular P does not have an R with it, so therefore we need to move it. The opposite of a positive P is negative P, so I'm going to subtract P from both sides. So A minus B equals PRT. Now, the P and the R and the T are stick together by multiplication. It's like a glue. So I need to remove all the variables that I don't need. I don't need the P and I don't need the T. And since it's multiplication, the opposite is division. So I'm going to divide by all the variables I don't need. P, T. That way the P cancel the P and the T cancel the T. Now I'm left with A minus B over PT equals R, and I cannot simplify those two P's because the A does not has a P next to it. Remember, it's all or nothing. So the final answer is R equals A minus B over PT. Don't forget, all or nothing. Please subscribe, like, and share my channel if you haven't done so. If you like what you saw in this video, please feel free to buy me a coffee. It's not mandatory, but thank you in advance.